The country is now well past the second month of the nationwide lockdown, as it is the 66th day of the extended lockdown today. The country registered more than 100 COVID-19 cases on a single day for the first time on the 65th day of the lockdown yesterday, while coronavirus claimed the life of another person in the country yesterday, taking the death toll in Nepal to 5. Meanwhile, a 27-year-old man has been tested positive to the virus in Solukhumbu district this morning, the first case in the district. Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Fifth death due to COVID-19 registered in the country. Number of coronavirus cases in Nepal climbs to 888, while a new record of 115 cases detected on a single day yesterday. The government to unveil its annual budget for the upcoming fiscal year today. Amid the global pandemic, the government is presenting a comparatively small budget. The federal capital, Kathmandu, doesn't even have a single quarantine facility despite the rising cases of COVID-19. Lawmakers flay the government's slack approach. And U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo informs Congress that Hong Kong no longer merits special treatment under U.S. law. The declaration could have major implications for Hong Kong's trade hub status. The country is marking its 13th Republic Day today. However, the government has decided to observe the day with limited celebration this year amid the coronavirus pandemic and the ongoing nationwide lockdown. The government has decided to observe the occasion by lighting government offices of all the 3 levels and the Nepalese diplomatic missions abroad for 3 days. According to the Home Ministry, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli will address the nation through the media today, marking the Republic Day. Premier Oli had addressed the nation on Monday as well. In the past years, the government used to mark the day with much fervor at the Army Pavilion in the capital with the presence of the President. Likewise, the Republic Day used to be observed with much fanfare throughout the country and in Nepalese diplomatic missions abroad. Nepal has reported its 5th death from COVID-19 in the country. The 5th death case of coronavirus was reported at Kist Medical Hospital in Lalitpur yesterday evening. A 56-year-old man of Bungamati, Lalitpur, was admitted in the hospital on Sunday with complaints of liver issue. His swab sample was collected on Monday. According to the hospital, he died yesterday at around 7 in the evening before the report was out in which he was tested positive. Meanwhile, a 27-year-old man has been tested positive to coronavirus in Solukhumbu this morning, the first case in the district. With this, the coronavirus cases has surged to 888. Meanwhile, a total of 115 new cases were recorded on a single day in the country yesterday. Speaking at the regular press meet yesterday, spokesman for the Home Ministry, Dr. Bikas Devkota, informed that 35 new cases were detected in Rohtahat district alone yesterday. Likewise, Chhapa reported 17 cases, while Dang reported 15 yesterday. 8 individuals in Bara, 6 in Baglung, 11 in Saptari, 15 in Surkhet, 16 in Banke, 2 in Siraha, and 3 in Rukum East tested positive. With this, coronavirus has spread to 48 districts in the country. Meanwhile, a total of 28 individuals were discharged from various hospitals on Tuesday, taking the tally of full recovery cases in the country to 183 as of the latest update. Likewise, 70,305 people are in different quarantine centers and 699 people are in isolation across the country. The government is unveiling the annual budget for the upcoming fiscal year 2020-21 today amid the global pandemic triggered by the novel coronavirus. The government is preparing to present a comparatively small budget than the current fiscal year while facing the challenges of resource management as the entire economy is reeling due to the lockdown imposed in a bid to curb COVID-19. The government had hinted at presenting a bigger budget while unveiling its policies and programs. However, the government is drafting a relatively small budget in the face of mounting pressure on the country's economy, as it is likely to take some time for economic activities to ease amid the COVID-19 pandemic. As the private sectors, which contribute 65% in the country's overall economy, are greatly hampered due to the coronavirus pandemic, the government is still uncertain about the revenue target for the upcoming fiscal year. According to sources involved in preparing the budget, the government is introducing the small-sized budget, aiming to bring supplementary budget if needed, instead of increasing its figure by comprising development projects. The government has given priority to programs related to containing the global pandemic and to addressing the economic challenges due to COVID-19, along with generating employment opportunities and developing agriculture and health infrastructures. The government has meanwhile increased the budget investment in agro-based programs to attract youths who have lost their jobs due to extended lockdown in the country and abroad. Likewise, the government has given priority to projects which are at their final stage of completion. Sources claim that the demands of private sectors are being addressed by the budget. The custom tariff rates will remain unchanged. The government is facing challenges with the drop in remittance in the last 2 months by 50%, as the government is bracing for programs discouraging import in the budget. The public expenses will be reduced with the possible decrease in foreign aid and challenges in revenue collection. Likewise, the budget will cut miscellaneous allowance provided to civil servants and high-ranking officials. However, a minister informed that the budget would give continuation to the local level infrastructure development fund, which is overseen by lawmakers. The government decided to hold its decision to table the Constitution Amendment Bill in the House of Representatives meeting yesterday. The bill that was aimed at changing the national emblem in line with the release of the new political and administrative map of Nepal was listed on the possible agendas for the meeting scheduled for yesterday afternoon. However, the Parliament Secretariat removed the agenda from the final business schedule published a few minutes before the House session yesterday. The government decided not to move the bill forward in the Parliament, as the main opposition Nepali Congress did not come up with its official decision through the Central Committee meeting. The party has sought some time to come with the formal stand on the issue. On Tuesday, Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba, during the all-party meeting, had said that the party would convene a Central Committee meeting to decide on the issue. During the meeting on Tuesday, all the political parties represented in the federal parliament had vowed to amend the constitution to incorporate the new political map of Nepal. Two-thirds majority is necessary for constitution amendment. Welcome back. The Health Ministry has confirmed of 16 COVID-19 cases in Kathmandu as of yesterday. Another 15 infected people who hail from outside Kathmandu are also stationed in the national capital. However, surprisingly, there is not a single quarantine facility in Kathmandu. According to the Health Ministry, the quarantine zones across the country can accommodate up to 127,000 infected people. But to everyone's surprise, the federal capital lacks a single quarantine facility. All the 30 infected and people who came in contact with the infected are all staying in isolation on their own. People who came from outer districts, including places which are described as red zones to the capital, have been allowed to go to their homes without proper screening. The Kathmandu metropolis has remained reluctant to manage a quarantine facility to keep the people who have come in contact with the infected. The metropolis has been showing indifference, citing the lack of police and medical officers. Some 31 officials who had tested positive through RDT from the metropolis itself were kept in environment department of the metropolis before test reports through PCR method were out. The metropolis is yet to learn from its experience, while outside the capital, the local levels have been keeping people who have come from outside districts in quarantine. At a time when the government has already announced of bringing over 25,000 Nepalese nationals from third countries, the Health Ministry itself finds it bizarre regarding the lack of quarantine facility in the metropolis. The ethnicity-based violence in Rukum on Saturday has demonstrated a high level of cruelty prevailing in the society. The incident left 4 dead while 2 others are missing. Even as strong voices are raised from different forums to bring the guilty under the book, ministers and lawmakers are demanding for probe committee in such ethnic violence. The formation of the probe committee overlooking legal system, however, does not establish a good precedent. The barbaric incident in Rukum West has drawn widespread criticisms from across the country. 4 youths were killed while 2 others are still reported missing. Divers of the armed police force are searching for the missing individuals. The crimes of ethnic violence and mass killings are to be probed and prosecuted through legal provisions. However, the Home Minister formed a probe committee led by a government official. Meanwhile, lawmaker Janardhan Sharma, who hails from Rukum and was once the Home Minister, recommended for a probe committee. Sharma's demand was seen as a ploy to politicizing the incident instead of seeking legal action against the perpetrators. Experts feel that investigating the incident through a probe committee could help the culprit to find leeway and escape the punishment. Such probe committees were formed in infamous cases of Nirmala Panta rape case and murder and gold smuggling, among others, that could not reach a concrete conclusion as victims are still awaiting justice. Analysts believe that police investigation for such criminal cases should be the top priority of the state rather than politicizing such incidents. Welcome back. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question. What's your take on the formation of a committee outside criminal justice to investigate a serious crime? Your options are A, no faith in legal mechanism, B, politics in crime, and C, trying to stem furor. The voting is on. Type NEWS to select your option A, B, or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day and stay safe.